G'day guys, I'm AJ, and if you have been keeping up with me, um, you know that a month or so ago I announced that I am getting a dog, or like looking for a dog in the rescue websites and stuff, hopefully to be a service dog. Um, but since we were searching for so long, my mum kind of convinced me that it doesn't need to be a service dog, just a good dog in general, and um, I mean, it doesn't need to be a dog that we can train as a service dog, or I can train. And yeah, also sorry for this weird angle. You'll see why in a minute. um, I don't normally have it like this. I'm normally standing in front of that background, or sitting in front of that background. Um, so after Mum convincing me that, and it makes sense, like, I have got Maple, my rabbit, and like I would love to have a dog that brings me that I can bring everywhere, and that can look after me as a service animal. Um, eventually, but I can't get everything I want. We can't get everything we want. Um, So I've settled on just getting a good dog that sleeps in my bed, that my mum and my brother are really happy with. And we worked out how to communicate with the rescue system, which is basically just get there as fast as you can and then be suitable. It's not inquire and wait for them to get back to you. It's go, go, go. But that's hard to do when most of the suitable dogs are like 3 hours away or more. And then suddenly we saw a dog in a rescue like in Penrith, which is for us about an hour away or a little bit more. Especially in bad traffic. And we saw 2 suitable looking dogs. So we called them and they said, "Yeah, come up here." And so we basically got ready to leave and then left. Like we had 30 minutes to get ready to leave. And I needed to grab the pets, and my brother is a sort of autistic where he needs to be prepared for like going somewhere, everything needs to be planned. You see why I'm doing that in a second as well. Yeah, so it was very like impressive for him to be able to do something as unplanned as that in half an hour. But it was like either we're leaving with him or we're leaving without him, and he didn't want to get a dog that we didn't approve of, but he was very easygoing about it, which was awesome. And yeah, we went and we talked about which of the 2 dogs that we saw to meet, because they said it would be quite traumatic for them to meet people and then not go home with us. And I guess that makes sense. And so we met this little white dog called Leon, and he was very cute. Like his eyes are like half the size of his head. But he was also very scared, very nervous. Like he was quivering like he was in a blizzard. He looked like he was freezing or something, but he was just super duper nervous. But despite his absolute quivering, he came up to us and said hi. He especially liked my mum at first. I think it's because I had the unusual, unfamiliar smell of the rabbit and guinea pigs. And you know, Mum was just a more neutral smell, I think. And then he was pretty, like, he had to smell my younger, you know, more typical autistic brother. And, you know, he wasn't comfortable with that, but he understood that dogs needed to sniff him, and so he got over it. And, you know, the dog didn't try to jump up on him or anything, even though he did try and jump up on Mum. And he sniffed me, but at first it was like he didn't understand that I was the dog person that he was really meant to be meeting, which I guess is normal for dogs. Like, you know, they don't know what they're meant to do. They can't read humans' minds. It's, most of the time. Like, I wanted a more confident dog, but like I said, you can't get everything you want, and the most important thing at this point was that they're, you know, just generally a good dog, and that my mum and her brother were happy with him. And yeah, they were very happy with him. He's adorable. So took him home. They said that after a 48-hour period we can bring them back and get half a refund, but after that you'd have to pay to rescind it, surrender them back. But we didn't do that, and we changed his name. Crypto! Come here! Come here! He's just been asleep. Good boy! Say hi to the camera. So this is Crypto. He was so excited when he got home. He seemed to know that this is where he was going to live, and it was safe. Like, the whole way home he was doing heavy panting and everything, the poor guy. And I was comforting him, and he was, you know, happier with my comforting. But then when we were like a minute away, I said to him, like, we're going home, and he seemed to understand what that meant and started to do that like excited whine, and then and then when we got here, like, we thought that he was going to be so nervous and like overwhelmed by the big new space, but he was so happy. He was doing like zoomies everywhere, weren't you? You were. It was crazy. Yeah. And yeah, and we found his favourite spot, which is on the top of the head here. Show them how you like the eyes. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a bit curious about the music Mum's playing. So this is like the third day that we've had him. So we got him on Monday, and today is and brought him home in like the late afternoon. And so this is Thursday. And he's really settling in. He's learned his name, his new name. One of the main reasons why he has his name, he was finding it itchy, so I took it off. Do you want it back on? But this has like little superhero things on it, and it's also really cute because it has dog versions of it, like Zoomy, Woof, Paw, Snack. I'm sorry if that's like backwards so you can't read it. Do you want it on? So we grabbed like a bunch of harnesses that we knew fit my rabbit, but because we thought the dog would be like wider than my rabbit, we tried to get the biggest ones, and this was the only one that fit him because he was much skinnier than I guess we kind of assumed. And in most of the pictures, he was not updated to him being less furry. because when he was surrendered, he was quite, you know, longer but matted. So that's why they had to shave him down, and he has this kind of bold cut right now. But they were able to save some of the head and the wiggly tail, and the ears kind of suit the crypto look right now. You know, they kind of have that little terrier style. He's not a terrier. He is a Maltese cross Shih Tzu. Why is that suddenly hard to say? I've always been able to say that. So yeah, but you can see that he mostly has the Maltese. When his ears grow back, and his hair, he kind of has a little bit more of a Shih Tzu base, but and you can see that he's not completely, utterly white. Like there's a bit of yellow in the hair, and a little bit of yellow on the back here. Sorry, I touched your tail. You didn't like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He does not bark that much at all. He's barked 3 times, I guess. No, 4. And that was at. So we went to Pedo and it was pretty quiet, which was what we were hoping for. You know, we rang him, but then there was this Pomeranian, which had like a snarl on his face and one eye and a big burn on his back. Like, I try to not be biased with those type of dogs, but I feel like he was, and I can understand why that wasn't probably, you know, it wouldn't have been our first choice for a dog to meet in our care, but oh well. Yeah, and he like started like lunging at it and barking like we had him on a leash, so he didn't like touch the dog or anything. And you know, obviously the Pomeranian started doing it back and barking at him, and I was able to, you know, easily get him to stop. And you know, the Pomeranian didn't stop barking, and yet he still was able to keep, you know, not barking, and we just ended up walking away from this Pomeranian. After that, we went for like a walk around, and it was great how much he was like okay in this environment with lots of people, and he was smelling everything. He loves to smell stuff. I mean, I know he's a dog, but I feel like he smells stuff more than the average dog that I've seen. Particularly, like, he's not a hound dog or anything, and so yeah, that's very interesting. And I kind of like it, because if we do end up making him a service dog, then he'll be able to use that good sense of smell to alert to when I have a panic attack. But right now we're just meeting him where he's at and just working on the small stuff, like getting him to sit and settle, good boy, and you know, toilet training, because he did digress on that a little bit, especially the first day, and getting used to his signs and all that, getting used to his new routine has been, you know, a little bit tricky. I think that he's never had a yard before. I think that at his old house, it was just a apartment. I think he's gone to check out what Mum's dancing is about. What Mum's song is about. I assume she's dancing. I wonder if he's a dancer. He does like to stand on his hind legs when he's excited, which is really cute. And then sometimes he'll do a little spin when he's excited. It's so cute. But he'll get like too excited when I'm trying to train him to sit and stuff. So I'm trying to just give that in little tiny nuggets of training. Um, and not like have it like a big exciting thing, so that he doesn't think that there's a period of time where he gets food and then every other time it doesn't matter when he sits. So yeah, and eventually we'll get him to do it in slightly more busy environments. But we're just focusing on our normal environments right now. The fact that he's from a loved and trained home is so helpful for us. So much better than having a puppy. So much better than our cat Waffles. Oh, so much better. So our cat Waffles was from a loved home, but he was not well trained or anything. Oh, and by the way, he's 4 years old, which is actually what people recommended when we talked about the sort of temperament that we wanted from a dog. So that's cool. That's a bit of a better angle there, buddy. Oh, he's putting his head on my leg. There we go. You're such a good boy. So, the reason why he was surrendered was just a change of circumstances. Probably like they had to move house and couldn't take the dog with them or something. Something like that. So he was very loved in his old house, and very well trained. Like, he doesn't try and like beg for food, or like our old cat would like jump up onto the table and be so desperate for all the food we had. Even when we like closed her out of the room while we were having dinner, we would just hear this constant meowing. And like his meowing was cute at first, like on the first day or something, but after that it was just a headache. This guy, he does like little whines when I'm like in the bathroom. And I think that at his old house he was also trained not to go into the bathroom, so he like won't go in with me, but then he'll want to get in when I'm like, I think he just misses me. The poor little guy. I think he's also just a little bit on edge at the moment because he wants me to stay as his family, and he doesn't want me to abandon him like he feels like his family did before. And yeah, he's such a good dog. Yeah. And because he was so shy and so nervous when we got him, we thought that he was gonna be like so scared to meet people, but he waltzed right up to my brother's support worker and smelt him and tried to do a very gentle jump up. We're training him not to jump up, and he knows words like off, out. He knows what sit means, but he only does it for a treat, and he only does it for like 1 second. So off and out are the best commands that he knows. And I'll try to teach him like something to say for pottying, like go toilet. And I've easily taught him to like he instinctively stops at the road. He naturally stops at the road, but I like to use like a wait and a cross. Oh yeah, that's another one. He knows wait. He doesn't go straight through. He doesn't fly through doors like the front door and the back door. He knows to stop. Like our cat wouldn't do that. We were like squeezing our way through doors, and if you didn't do it properly, then he would like bolt out of the house, and it was, very tricky to control that. And he'll need a reminder of saying wait, but even without that, he's still really good. Another thing is that he doesn't feel as confident going outside, even like in my lawn, without a leash, which is actually pretty good because it means that the guinea pigs and rabbits can run around the entire yard without worrying about him. When we took him outside for his first yard, like when he was introduced to us, he was not interested in the guinea pigs and the rabbits in the slightest. But that was because everything was already so new, and because they weren't moving. When Maple started to run around, he wanted to chase him, and so I had to quickly pick him up. He did not like that. Did not like the surprise of me grabbing him. But I had to. I was kind of worried that, he would hurt Maple. It was not wise looking back. I was just, was not expecting that. For him to be so, I didn't expect him to have a prey drive at all. Because of the way he acted when we first met him in the rescue. We got him from the, I think it's just called Animal Adoption Agency. Yeah. There's his thing. So there's there's their logo and stuff. Because I know things more by their logo than the actual name and stuff. So yeah, and they also had cats, and I don't know if they had rabbits that you could adopt. He just looked straight up at me when I said that. Did that sound like some other word? He doesn't look up when you say walk or anything like that. So I guess that's good. But he does enjoy going for a walk. I left him home alone yesterday. Not alone. Mum was there. But he was, not happy. He was whining, looking for me the whole time, howling. Mum tried everything. And eventually she was able to settle him down by watching TV with him and just continuously patting him and talking to him. And he liked the TV being on. And he was pretty settled after that. And when I arrived, he was pretty settled. And he was he didn't really understand that I was actually home until I walked through the door and the door was closed. And then he got super duper excited, and he picked up his lead and gave it to me. It was so adorable. And I was really tired. I actually felt kind of sick on that day, but I had to just take him for a walk with the fact that he was giving me his lead. And when we were outside to in my yard to give him a little walk, this the last couple of days, the guinea pigs and rabbits have just been fenced off in one side of the yard because we have a pretty big yard. So they've just been fenced off with a playpen. And so I just dropped his lead because he didn't need to be walked around, and he picked up his lead like he was taking himself for a little walk. And I've seen dogs do that on YouTube and stuff, but I never expected him to just do that voluntarily. So I've left his lead like near the door so that he can pick it up to show when he wants to go outside and when he's not just like looking outside randomly. Because this morning he was looking outside and I thought he was looking at Maple, because I let Maple in the entire yard today. Maple's my rabbit. I think he did another fart. He's quite farty. I think it's just because he's getting used to the food that we've been giving him. We've been trying to give him very similar food to what they had. Like, it's the same kibble, at least. Oh, that stinks, buddy. When I was 12, we got a dog that did not fit us in the slightest. It was a puppy Jack Russell cross, crossed with a half Cavalier, half Beagle. It was, it was not a good combination for us, not the sort of dog we were looking for. Very high prey drive, a lot of energy. Mum thought that energy would then be contagious to us kids and we'd be able to get our contagiously out and, get our energy out and go for a walk. But, we would have more exercise and be more fit. But we were still our lazy selves. And we weren't able to, give him that outlet that he needed. So we had to rehome him. Oh, I need to light a match. It is great having him, already be an adult and being trained a lot. Like, he won't chew on anything, even though when we don't have the tidiest house. He, settles easily. There are some things that I would have done differently if he was a puppy with me. So, if I was able to do that foundational training with him when he was a puppy, then I would have done some things differently, teach the lie down and this, particularly the lie down and stay a bit more. I think he does know stay and sit, but he gets so excited with the sit that I haven't really been able to test it that much. But he definitely knows wait, so, I think he's, a little bit better with the training that he has done without treats. With sitting, he'll only do it with a treat, and I assume that's because he's only been trained with a treat. And so, we're still using treats with him, as you could see when I asked him to come. I don't think he's not very good at coming. He doesn't have the best recall. But he's learned his name very quickly. He does like treats, but he's a bit selective with his food, which I would have liked him to be more food motivated as well. He's not super duper picky. He does like his treats that I've got him, which are pretty typical treats, and he doesn't mind the kibble too much. And there's, a lot worse stuff that you could be picky with. I've ordered some Leica, I think that's what it's called, the dog food, so hopefully he will enjoy that a bit more, and it will give him less diarrhea, and he'll be a little bit less selective with that. He loves his raw food. We've got some raw beef for him. I know that that's not the only thing you should feed a dog, that they need vegetables and stuff as well. And I know that he likes cheese and peanut butter. I think cheese might be his jackpot. I'm still trying to work that out. But maybe his jackpot is just a lot of praise. And he's not a big playful dog either. Like, if you throw a ball, he will not care. He's got like a couple of small soft toys that he likes, like this. Sometimes he'll just grab it and bring it to me or Mum, particularly Mum. He likes to just hold them in his mouth, which I know that some dogs find comforting to do. Now he thinks we're going to play. Sorry. We're not. But he'll only play for like a very short time and then get bored. You know, we'll do like a little bit of tug-of-war with it, and I'll throw it like 1 or 2 times, but that's about it. I think I need to scrub his butt. I think I'm going to give him a small bath. I think I've mentioned all the stuff, but basically your dog's personality can change a lot from when you meet them at the rescue, or like feel like it's changed, like you don't know who you're meeting. Like it'll take like 6 weeks from what I've heard for them to really come into themselves. And we really wanted to do like a trial to because I knew that I didn't expect him to have this much of a drastic change from shivering, quivering little dog to this confident young man. Yeah, I definitely need to scrub his butt. Yeah, this is my new dog, Crypto. Did I just say your name? Crypto! Come here. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. You want a treat for me saying your name. Crypto! Good boy. Sorry. Sometimes I'll touch him in a sensitive spot accidentally, but it's hard to know because it's not like the same spots. It feels like it's different every time. Like the ears, behind the ears there can be a little bit sensitive. So if I move my hands too much there, then he can do that. And my friend told me that they're like underneath their shoulders can be quite sensitive. But there are other times where he'll just randomly cry out in pain when I'm touching him, and I won't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I just touched him like in a normal spot. Like, I don't even know where I touched him because we were just like, you know, doing an excitement praise thing of you did a good thing or I love you. Like on the first day that I got him, I was just so happy that I have a dog. This is my dog, you know. He's mine. I own him. I kept waking up in the middle of the night that night because I was so excited, thinking that it was a dream and he was still there. And like I also woke up and felt guilty because there was an animal in my bed, and my mum never, for like at least the last year or at least the last 2 years, I haven't been allowed, you know, a dog or a rabbit or anything on my bed, or a guinea pig or anything in my bed, and you know, mainly rabbits. And Waffles, my cat, wouldn't go into my bed anyway. So, and I've had my cat for, it's been a year since I rehomed my cat. So, Mum will sometimes accidentally call him Waffles. I haven't done it yet. I'll just be like, what's your name? Oh, I have called him Maple. Especially when we're outside. We're all still getting used to your name. You're better with your name than I am. But I like his name way more than Leon. Did you just look up when I said that? If so, that would be the first time. Leon? No, it was different. I think he's looking up at something else that I can't hear. Okay, sorry, this video is long enough. thank you guys so much for watching. I have a dog. And see you guys later when I ramble on about something else.